911 operators in Clark County, Indiana have been sounding the alarm about miscommunication and staff shortages affecting the ambulance service. The county is under contract with New Chapel EMS until the end of 2025, previously operated by embattled former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Knoll. Well, Focus reporter Travis Breeze has been looking at jot forms and ambulance runs. So Travis, what is a jot form and what are they telling us?
So a jot form is a written documentation that any agency who's a part of a 911 call can make after a run if something goes wrong. And there were a total of 70 jot forms related to New Chapel EMS's service from April 1st of this year until mid-June. While it is a small percentage compared to the total amount of EMS runs, the head of EMS service for the county says some of these are very troubling.
No new ones, at least.
Clark County Health Officer Dr. Eric Yazel is looking at all the numbers.
June's down to an overall average of 10 minutes and 31 seconds.
Behind those numbers is someone in need.
We have to cover the county one way or another.
Yazel says the goal is for average response times to be at or under 10 minutes. While they have been hovering around that, some of the outlier cases have contained serious red flags. On May 29th, Clark County 911 called New Chapel's dispatch center and told them to respond to an accident on Highway 31 with an overturned vehicle. New Chapel could not advise which ambulance was en route, and it took 10 minutes for an ambulance to be assigned. It turned out New Chapel's dispatch center was empty for a few minutes because those call takers were out driving an ambulance.
I've never had that happen in our county before that I know of.
On May 24th, it took 31 minutes to respond to someone with chest pain. New Chapel is supposed to staff 6 vehicles in this contract, and there was only one other run in the county at this time. And on May 28th, it took 37 minutes to reach an 89-year-old woman who had fainted. A dispatcher wrote, "I understand it is not New Chapel's fault as to why they do not have units responding. However, it is starting to get very dangerous because our county does not have enough workers for ambulances." Why do you think the person would have said, "I understand it is not New Chapel's fault"?
I think probably some of the leadership issues that we've talked about.
New Chapel removed its CEO, Jamie Knoll, in November because he is facing 31 felonies for embezzling millions of dollars from the organization. Yazel says the entire state is struggling to hire paramedics, and it's been accelerated for New Chapel. The organization lost 10 employees at the end of May when they chose to join a brand new fire department.
Basically what you're seeing is some systemic problems with EMS bleed through, and just it shows how fragile our system is.
In response to our story, New Chapel said it is paying $80,000 to get 12 new mobile laptops in its cars, which will allow 911 dispatchers to see their location in real time. The agency also points out a very low percentage of runs had a jot form or documented issue. Between April and mid-June, there was almost 4,000 total runs and only 70 jot forms. A spokesperson said, "The data shows the overwhelming majority of ambulance calls completed by New Chapel EMS have not had significant issues. Even so, we will always strive to do better."
We do appreciate the transparency that, has been, it hasn't always been that way.
Yazel says they are evaluating several steps to keep response times in the acceptable range, including changing the public safety plan to clearly state that multiple agencies are allowed to transport patients to the hospital.
It's probably the biggest, but there are a lot of other things that need to be done too, but that will open up a lot of other options.
New Chapel Fire and EMS has lost 2 of its 4 contracts this year. The Clark County contract is in place for now as everyone hopes their staffing rebounds. There are 2 other agencies certified to transport patients to the hospital in Clark County, Tri-Township and New Washington Fire Departments. They need to talk with New Chapel before doing so and reach an agreement. Yazel says with the different agencies helping out, though, people can confidently call 911. Connie?
All right, 37 minutes is a long time. Thank you so much, Travis, for that report. And the city of Jeffersonville also said on June 12th, it is doing an ambulance feasibility study to see if it wants to do transports in the future to help out the county.